I wrote a database script for World of Warcraft that randomizes the entire world. Zones get shuffled into different level brackets. Dungeon difficulty matches the difficulty of the zone. Hardcore rules, 1 life. Race and class, rolled online. We have lost 8 characters so far, and we have 1 life left before a full world reset. Hey, it's Uncle Chimpus here. Last episode we mapped almost all of Kalimdor, swam into Orgrimmar at level 4, we ended with the Troll Warrior at level 27, a few blue items in the bag and 1 life standing between us and a full world reset. This episode we finished the Warrior questline. We go after Cyclonian, and we're going to get the Whirlwind axe. Let's see how that went. We left off at Grobashi Arena. The chest opening loop I mentioned last episode. Every 3 hours, uncontested, nobody else on the server. I've been running it. The bracers I need go to the bank. The rest get disenchanted. They turn into large radiant shards. In a world where I'm the only person farming rares with a short respawn timer, they're actually stackable. And then, there's this. The Grandmaster Arena Trinket. Activating it gives a shield that's more than double my hit points, for 20 seconds, but it does have a 30-minute cooldown. I bet it's going to save my life more than once. And now, the comments. The comments for episode 2 were pretty consistent. If I'm playing solo, why limit the amount of professions I can learn? So, I removed the cap, and the whole day after that went to leveling. That's the honest summary. Here's what actually came out of it. Target dummy from engineering. If I pull too many enemies, I can drop one to redirect aggro. Not huge, but useful. Flying tiger goggles from engineering. This is the first head slot item that we got. And lastly, sharpening stones from smithing. They provide a flat damage increase to our weapon, which is not huge, but every little bit helps. Next up, enchanting and engineering. I got both of these professions to expert, and now the cap is 225. I tried to do the same with alchemy, but here's the problem. The artisan alchemy trainer that I need is in Undercity, which is currently bracket 6. Enemies around level 50. I'm not going there for a profession upgrade. Alternative? Rogwar, a horde master alchemist trainer in the Swamp of Sorrows. So I take the boat from Ratchet to Booty Bay, walk north through Stranglethorn, and then I head east. Duskwood? Bracket 3. Manageable. Deadwind Pass. Bracket 5. Kinda scary. But the enemies are far from the road, so they don't notice me. Then I come over a ridge into Swamp of Sorrows, and it's immediately obvious. Bracket 7. No alchemy trainer today. This matters more than just the profession. I was hoping to have nature protection potions for the fight with Cyclonian. The boss uses nature damage. The potions would have limited the amount of damage I take significantly, but it looks like I'm going to have to go without them. Blacksmithing has been climbing though, and it's finally producing some results. Green iron leggings, shoulders, helm, and our character stat sheet is looking much better now. And now that we're level 30, we can start the level 30 warrior questline. There's an island just near the town of Ratchet. Normally, you have to fight a gauntlet of NPCs, wave after wave, as the spectators are cheering on. But in our case, they were replaced with enemies. Thankfully, the zone is bracket 2 and they don't hinder our quest progress. We take out all of the transformed spectators and all of the enemies of the waves themselves, including the boss, Big Will. And the reward is Berserker Stance and Intercept. We finally have all of the warrior stances. But before returning to town, I think it's time we got all of the smoky iron ingots for the level 20 questline. So I go and do that. We ding level 31 in the process, and then we had to track down the Hillsbrand miner NPCs, who drop powdered azurite. I found a rare spawn nearby as well, and got our first amulet out of it. Now the only missing piece for our quest is the Vial of Phlogiston. It's dropped by a dungeon boss called Rugug. That means we're going to tackle our first dungeon. Quick note before the runs, because the dungeons behave differently than what you might expect. In a shuffled world, dungeons sit inside zones, and those zones landed on brackets. But dungeon mob levels can't match their bracket perfectly. The lowest level dungeon enemy starts at level 13. You can't have a bracket 1 dungeon with level 1 to 7 enemies inside. So the scaling was adjusted. The result, dungeon mobs average slightly higher level than their bracket. They're harder than the outdoor content at the same tier. The second thing, going in alone at the wrong level isn't a story, it's just a death. To actually show what these dungeons look from the inside, I used AI player bots. Same level as my character, running only for the duration of the dungeon run. Then, they were shut off. The goal was to see the content, not to farm it safely. And first dungeon is Wailing Caverns, Bracket 2 zone. I'm already overleveled for this one. But I wanted to see how the bots behave before taking them somewhere that could actually kill us. It went cleanly, and we got lucky. Rogug was in the dungeon, and we got the vial. As soon as I got the vial, I made my way out of the dungeon. And just like that, we got our very first blue chestplate. Now, let's go somewhere more challenging. Marathon, Bracket 3. This is the right level of challenge. And here I started noticing some problems with the bots. They don't allow us to LOS pull any of the packs, and they keep aggroing or CCing enemies they shouldn't. After defeating the boss, I was dealing with the first pack of enemies, and then I saw the hunter pet chain pull all of the packs in the room. It was trying to make its way to the hunter, who for some reason decided to jump down. I immediately get out. They're closer to real players than I thought. I think I'm gonna go with a more melee-centric party next time. So, I go and do that. And the run goes much better. Cleaner pulls, good clear speed. The blind hunter boss drops a blue bow, plus 3 agility. I roll on it, and I manage to get it. Then, Overlord Ramtusk. He drops Corpse Maker. The bot rolls on it, as do I, and the bot gets it. Then the two-handed sword, Morbid Dawn, drops. The bot needs on it once again, and I don't get it either. We finished the rest of the dungeon without any issues. Then I reset the instance and run it again. This time, the drop is mine. I return back to Ratchet, the bots are off, server has been restarted, and the Corpse Maker is equipped. We are level 34 now. We're ready to continue with the Warrior questline. And the next step in the questline requires us to go to Hillsbrad Foothills. That's where the quest giver is, and that's where the Cyclonian boss is going to be summoned. The problem? Getting there. The path from the north is blocked. There's Fall Glades is Bracket 6. Everything there kills us. And the route from Stranglethorn is probably not going to be much better. But I remember something from our earlier run. There's a ship from Theramore Isle to Menethil Harbor. Normally, I would probably not be able to take it, but now the guards are replaced with enemies, so I make my way there. I make my way to Wetlands, and it's Bracket 3. Nothing here threatens us at this point. Next up, Arati Highlands, which is Bracket 4. This is a bit more dangerous, but we manage to navigate it as long as we stay on the road. We grab the flight path, and it seems this area has some bounding box issues as well. I see some Bracket 7 enemies just outside of town, but they don't notice us and I don't test them. And next, Hillsbrad Foothills, which is Bracket 5. After some careful navigation, we manage to grab the flight path, but the Bracket 5 zone proves difficult at my current level. So I grind a little bit, and now we're level 36. And now we're able to safely reach the Windwatcher quest NPC. To summon Cyclonian, we need 4 things. Life roots that we already have through profession grinding, Blood Scalp dust that we can get from trolls, and I saw a few of their spawns back in Durotar, so this is covered. The hard one is the Essence of Exile. To get it, I need 8 Burning Charms, 8 Dundering Charms, and 8 Cresting Charms, from 3 specific elemental mob types scattered around the world. Dundering and Cresting Charms, I found both in Hillsbrand Foothills. Burning Exiles, though, are not in Hillsbrand. I checked. I scouted out the zones connected to Hillsbrand. Silver Pine Forest is Bracket 7. Alterac Mountains are Bracket 7 as well. And who could have guessed, Hinterlands are Bracket 7 too. South it is, I guess. Back through Wetlands, south to Loch Modan. And as it turns out, it's Bracket 2. It's safe. Next, we go to Badlands. It's Bracket 4. Bracket 4 is promising for another reason. There's a Master Enchanting Trainer inside the Dungeon of Uldaman, the dungeon in this zone. Bracket 4 is hard, but definitely doable. We're definitely gonna come back here if we survive that long. No Burning Exiles in Badlands, so I move on. I go east to Searing Gorge. The zone is Bracket 5. And there they are. I finally found some burning exiles, and after a little bit of grinding, I got the 8 charms. I grab the flight path and return to Hillspread. But before summoning Cyclonian, I get ready. I get some buffing scrolls from the Lore Master vendor, and any of the potions that I made so far. Sadly, no nature protection potion though. But we work with what we have. Back in Hillspread, I talk to the troll, and he spawns Cyclonian. I open up with my Rage Generation abilities. I stack Thunder Armor and Thunderclap. After 4 stacks are up, I use Retaliation. My health gets low and I pop the Arena Trinket. And the boss goes down. Whirlwind Axe unlocked. 8 characters are dead, 1 life is left. The world is still broken and there's more of it to explore. Subscribe if you want to see more of it. See you in the next one.